Liam Spencer's death plan revealed by Scott Clifton the Bold and the beautiful Bombshell. Scott Clifton reveals that Liam Spencer's death was initially intended to be permanent inside the behind-the-scenes chaos that altered everything. When the Bold and the beautiful fans watched Liam Spencer's tragic brain tumor storyline earlier this year, they were gutted. The tears, heartbreak, and emotional goodbyes all felt too real. Turns out it actually was. At the October 2025 Daytime Emmy Awards, Scott Clifton, the three-time Emmy-winning actor who portrays Liam Spencer, revealed a shocking truth that has left soap audiences stunned. Liam Spencer was really supposed to die. Permanently. There was no surprise or unexpected turn of events. It was meant to be the end of a 14-year journey. If Bradley Bell, the head writer and executive producer, hadn't made a single last-minute phone call, the story would have ended exactly as planned. The original plan, Liam's final curtain call. During red carpet interviews with outlets like Daytime Confidential, Clifton finally pulled back the curtain on one of the show's most emotional storylines. "I was supposed to be leaving the show, that was the plan," he said. Bell had called him into his office almost a year before the story aired, and he delivered the bombshell news face-to-face. That to face. "You won't return a week later. This is your swan song." For Clifton, it was surreal but oddly understandable. After all, he had been playing the character Liam since 2010. A total of 14 years filled with tangled romances, rivalries, and redemption arcs. But even he admitted the character had hit a wall. "Liam was kind of written into a corner," Clifton said, echoing the same frustrations fans had voiced for years. "It was something I had worried about for at least a decade." The endless triangle between Liam, Hope, and Steffi, iconic. 14, iconic but exhausting, had begun to suffocate the character's growth. Bradley Bell wanted to free the show from that cycle with something powerful, final, and deeply human. Liam dying from an inoperable brain tumor. Not for shock. The decision was not motivated by ratings. The purpose was to provide closure. Why kill Liam Spencer? The creative reasoning. From Bell's perspective, the decision was both artistic and structural. The show's oldest romantic arc had ensnared Liam too deeply. No matter how many times he tried to grow, his storyline always boomeranged back to the same two women. For a head writer, that's a creative trap. The only way out is to completely end the story. End the story completely. In interviews, Clifton described Bell's vision for the arc as a poignant, meaningful goodbye. It would have been Liam's greatest story, a character's, and his last. It wasn't about punishing the actor or trimming the cast. It was about bringing dignity and realism to a character who had, for years, been mocked as the show's ultimate waffler. And for a while, that was the plan. The goodbye that was real. This is where the story turns emotional. Scott Clifton accepted the decision. He grieved it, then he leaned into it. When he filmed those scenes of Liam saying goodbye to Hope, Steffi, Bill, and his daughter Kelly, he wasn't just acting. He was genuinely saying goodbye to the character, the crew, the fans, and 14 years of his professional life. Most of that storyline, I was saying my goodbyes for real, Clifton revealed. Everything you saw was real. I really was playing that. The authenticity was evident. Fans praised his work as among the most raw, heartfelt performances in B&B history. Clifton did not falter in his performance. He researched inoperable brain tumors, wanting to portray the condition with realism and empathy. "This is an actual thing people die from, and I didn't want it to be cheesy," he explained. "I wanted to do it right." Viewers later reached out, including fans and some patients or family members of those who had faced the same diagnosis, to thank him for the honesty of his portrayal. Ironically, the performance that was meant to close out his run may now be remembered as the moment that solidified him as one of the show's greatest actors. Life imitating art. Behind the camera, Clifton's personal life was unraveling. His divorce was unfolding just as he filmed Liam's goodbye scenes. It gave the performance an added layer of truth to a man losing parts of his life both on and off screen. For Clifton, diving into the intense material became a kind of therapy. It gave me something meaningful to hold on to, he later reflected. When you're losing things in your real life, sometimes art saves you. And perhaps that's why the performances hit so hard. The grief wasn't fake, neither was the hope. Then, in a surprising twist, Bradley Bell changed his mind. About a week after delivering the death sentence, Bell picked up the phone and called Clifton again. He'd changed his mind. The words were simple: "We're going to change direction." Just like that, everything shifted. Clifton's reaction? Shock and cautious relief. "I was so thrilled to still have a job," he joked, "but I wondered how on earth you were going to pull this off." At that point, the scripts had already been written. The medical diagnosis was clear. Liam had a terminal, inoperable brain tumor. The show had already set up his goodbye tour. Undoing that kind of finality, without insulting the audience, would take serious narrative gymnastics. The writer's challenge: resurrecting Liam without ruining the story. You can't simply state, "Oops, wrong diagnosis." This cannot be done in 2025 or on B&B. So the writers went big. Soapy. Outrageously bold. Enter Dr. Grace Buckingham, Cassandra Creech. In a twist that rewrote everything fans thought they knew, the show revealed that Grace had faked Liam's brain scans as part of an elaborate extortion scheme to swindle $1 million from Bill Spencer. The tumor wasn't real. The experimental treatment was also fake. But Bell didn't stop there. To make the reveal feel organic, the writers connected it to another high-stakes storyline: Luna Nozawa's growing instability. Liam tried to intervene during a violent confrontation at the beach house involving Luna, Steffi, and Sheila Carter, and was shot. His hospital admission as a gunshot victim triggered a second medical evaluation that exposed the falsified scans. The dominoes fell. The extortion plot unraveled. Liam lived, and in a twisted way it worked. Fan reaction: shock, division, and praise. Soap fans are a fiercely passionate bunch, and this storyline lit up online communities from Soap Central to Reddit. Some fans felt that the fake tumor reveal was a convenient solution. They argued that Liam's death would have represented bold, emotional storytelling and provided a chance for B&B to finally move forward from its decade-old love triangle. He deserved a real ending. One fan posted on X, "Not another twist that keeps the same story alive." Others were simply relieved. Clifton's fans, many of whom have followed him since his General Hospital and One Life to Live days, celebrated that he wasn't leaving daytime. But nearly everyone agreed on one thing: Scott Clifton's performance was extraordinary. Even viewers who couldn't stand Liam's indecisiveness praised Clifton for pouring his soul into those scenes. "You can hate the character, but love the actor," one fan wrote. He gave that story every ounce of humanity he had. What happens next? Can Liam finally grow? With the fake tumor and the extortionist exposed, Liam's alive and a fake tumor, and newly engaged to Hope Logan. But survival alone doesn't equal transformation. Clifton himself acknowledged this in interviews after the reveal, saying, "It can't be for nothing." He hoped that surviving such trauma would push Liam to finally evolve, to stop repeating old mistakes and become a stronger, steadier man. The question hanging over the storyline now is whether Bell and his writers can deliver on that. The reason for writing Liam's death was not related to the tumor. Rather, it was about stagnation. If the writers bring him back only to re-enter the same waffling love triangle, the entire arc loses its meaning. Fans, ever skeptical, are waiting to see if the bold and the beautiful breaks the cycle or falls back into it. Behind the scenes, the power of a single decision. This entire saga, from "you're dying" to "just kidding," is a masterclass in the fluidity of soap storytelling. Writers may spend months crafting a final storyline, only for one executive decision to rewrite everything overnight. Bradley Bell has always been known for following his instincts, even late in production. In this instance, that instinct not only saved a fan-favorite actor, but also compelled the team to reimagine the entire narrative in real time. Clifton's perspective on it is gracious. "I think Bradley just couldn't do it," he said. He realized Liam still had something left to say. The swan song that wasn't. Removing the twists and rewrites reveals a unique phenomenon. An actor who experienced the character's death and survived to tell the story. For Clifton, it became both an artistic awakening and a personal reckoning. He faced the grief of losing Liam, then the relief of keeping him. He delivered the performance of his career, believing it was a farewell, only to discover that it marked a rebirth. For fans, it serves as a reminder of why soaps still matter, because beneath the melodrama and the impossible resurrections lies something achingly human. The fear of endings, the hope for second chances, and the thin line between fiction and life. The bigger picture, what it says about the bold and the beautiful. The bold and the beautiful has always walked a tightrope between emotional realism and pure, pulpy excess. Liam's almost death is the perfect case study in that tension. On one hand, it delivered one of the most grounded, moving performances in recent soap memory. On the other, it reminded viewers that in this world, no one ever truly stays gone. It also underscores the challenge of modern daytime storytelling, balancing audience attachment with narrative evolution. Killing Liam might have creatively freed B&B, but it also risked alienating longtime viewers. So Bell found a middle path. He decided to emotionally kill Liam while allowing him to be resurrected physically. The character died in spirit, but the actor, along with the possibility for redemption, continued to live on. Looking ahead, the future of Liam Spencer. Now that Liam's alive and engaged to hope, the next phase of his story needs to matter. Will the writers finally explore his psyche, including the trauma of believing he was dying, the betrayal of being lied to, and the existential fear of being erased? Will he return to his familiar patterns, oscillating between the women who have defined him for over a decade? If Bradley Bell truly wants to justify reversing the death decision, he'll have to let Liam evolve into something new, a man shaped by survival rather than defined by indecision. Fans recall the near-death experience. They know how close Liam came to dying for good, and that kind of near-death deserves more than recycled romance. Final thoughts. A death that changed everything, even without happening. Scott Clifton's revelation unveils more than just a hidden plot twist. It offers a glimpse into the fragile, living world of soap opera storytelling, where even endings can change overnight and where emotion often runs deeper than the scripts. Bradley Bell's choice to spare Liam may have rewritten B&B history, but it also handed the show an opportunity to prove that survival can be just as powerful as death. Whether they seize it or squander it remains to be seen. But one thing is for sure, fans everywhere will never forget the storyline that almost ended Liam Spencer's life and the decision that brought him back.